Greetings, programs! Set the Wayback Machine to about 29 years. It's 1982, and computer graphics were a completely new way of making movies. When a movie called Tron came out, it was one of the first feature-length films to use CGI with live action. Those who saw the movie were both amazed and confused by what they saw. The CGI was unlike anything they had ever seen, but the story and dialogue made no sense. It was a little bit too advanced for the time.
Master Control program's been snapping up all those programs if you leave. If he thinks you're useful, he takes over all your functions, so he gets bigger. And if he can't use you, he sends you down here to the game grid to get the bits blasted at you.
What the hell are they talking about? The story focuses on Kevin Flynn, a computer genius who is trying to hack into the system of a big company called Encom. Why? Because another programmer named Ed Dillinger stole his games, got him fired, made millions off his games, and became senior executive of the company.
I still don't understand why you want to break into the system.
Kevin is looking for evidence of this, but is always being stopped by Dillinger's supercomputer, Master Control, or Master C as I like to call it. And this computer has such an awesome villain voice. It's really cool sounding.
Hello, Mr. Dillinger. Thanks for coming back early.
Apparently, Master C has become too smart, and decides he'll start hacking in the government systems, like the Pentagon, so he can most likely take over the world, as all computers want to.
You shouldn't have come back, Flynn.
Hey, it's the big Master Control program everybody's been talking about.
Anyway, at one point, Kevin's friends help him break into Encom, so he can get the evidence he needs, but Master C puts a stop to that by blasting him with a laser and sending him into the digital world. It's here where we see the digital world, and it's awesome. This is like the coolest world ever. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. It's dark, but it has all these bright neon lights everywhere. It's just so cool, I love it. Seeing the actors in the CG world was amazing back then, but today, it looks a little outdated. Nowadays we have movies like Avatar which look real, but with Tron, it looks completely fake. But that's what I love about Tron. It just has such an 80s feel to it, so cheesy yet so cool at the same time. I just love it so much. Probably the most iconic scene in the movie was the light cycle game. This is where they really showed off the CGI effects, and it's just so awesome. It's so awesome that many people like to spoof it, like Family Guy, and they even made the arcade game based off of it. How cool is that? Now, as amazing as the movie was in the 80s, it wasn't exactly very popular. In fact, it bombed at the box office. Since then, it's become a bit of a cult film. But thanks to the new movie, Tron Legacy, it's starting to get the attention it deserves. That was the biggest downfall with this movie. It was just too ahead of its time. People just weren't ready for it. But now, we can really understand it. The movie starts off a bit slow, which also helped the audience become uninterested. I admit the first time I saw it as a kid, I fell asleep. But now that I'm older, I could sit down with patience and actually watch it, and understand it too. Tron was a very interesting, original, and cool movie back then, and still is to this day. I love Tron, and if you haven't seen it yet, you should check it out. You might find it interesting, especially for gamers, because you can really tell that it's inspired by the old school arcade games of the early 80s. There's even an Easter egg of Pac-Man in it.
Get them! Send out every game tank in the grid!
I'd have to say that Tron is one of my favorite movies. It may not be the best, but it sure as hell is one of the coolest. It's a film that becomes better the more times I see it, and I'll be watching it plenty of times.
End of line.